What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're not starting just yet. Waiting on our guests to show. Well, my co-host and then my guests to show up. There we go. There we go.
I had to do a little
There we
process
go.
though. There we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Can you hear me?
welcome to Anxiety Talks. So, without further ado, let me start the show. Welcome to GW Anxiety Talks. I'm your host, Nate, with my co-host, D Hayes in the building. Special guest, brother from another mother. Also part of the anxiety camp, Mr.
Indeed.
Trifecta himself.
Thank you, sir.
You know,
Let's go.
man,
Let's go.
D, you with us?
You can hear me?
Perfect. If you could, let's get your vocals just a tad higher. We hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Get your, just put your tad thing just a tad higher. Before we get into this, man, I wanted to run down some of this man's accolades, man. This man has done a lot for the community, for himself, for the people around him, as well as he's impactful. So we're talking about a man who's on iTunes, Trifecta The Voice, YouTube channel, 1.41 thousand subscribers, bootleg reviews with his better half, his old lady, SP video, one of his first singles off of Tunnel Vision, the mixtape called Just a Taste, video from his single, from his first album, from the official bootleg edition. He's dropped mixtapes, Tunnel Visions, mixtapes 1 and 2, In Life, featuring Supernova, directed by Gil Rios. Shout out to Gil Rios.
Big shout
Smooth
out.
Out Freestyle by Trifecta, also directed by Gil Rios. One Day
sir.
official music video, Trifecta, aka Try the Voice. The South Bronx by Trifecta The Voice, also directed by Gil Rios.
Yes,
The
sir.
Real NY. He was published in 2 poetry books, Wankster Land comedy skit. One of my new favorite things, people go check that out. He made a dope appearance in the Bronx Global Music Group. Dope, highly anticipated performance, comedy skits and Crooked Cops. Also has SoundCloud, Trifecta The Voice, Tunnel Vision Live, mixtapes.com. Again, you can catch Tunnel Vision on live mixtapes.com with exclusive track Dylan. I ain't even Dylon. I ain't even get that out there, but we heard that you got to get in tune with this man Trifecta to get that exclusive track.
Yes, sir.
Man, you a man of many talents, brother. Tell us about how did these things come about with you, as far as like from you being this dope artist, but also balancing that out with the videos and the comedy skits. How do we get there?
Well, it was just the work and opportunities came. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
You start off like a lot of the videos and things came out because me and my man Gil Rios, we met at our jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to always be like, yo, check out what I did. Check out what I did. Because I'm a person that I do what I do, but I really don't let people know. You know what I'm saying? I do it for me. My feeling of satisfaction is, can I do this? Oh, look, I did it. All right, boom. Now on to the next. Like, I don't really have the tunnel vision to complete and take it to the next level and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
So that relationship is what brought out he's the one that came up with the comedy skits and said, yo, I want you on here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And plugged me into a lot of different situations, bro. He was a stand up, big dude. He's still doing big things. Be much respect to him. You know what I'm saying?
Want to definitely give a shout out to your man, Gil Rios, man. I like what you do, brother. You and Trifecta, man, y'all work great together. I love what I'm saying. I love everything about it. I like the fact that you brought awareness to how things are these days, especially dealing with some people of authority. And you dumbed it down so it doesn't look like it's being bad, like you're bashing them. You also brought some comedy to it, which in all reality, behind the scenes, as me and D spoke, these things really happen like that.
Yeah.
I can't get over the part when he goes, ain't nothing in the kitchen, let's go to plan B. I said, oh, we seen this in movies. We seen this on the news. This is real stuff. But you was able to put it in a place where it was truly in perspective. So I want to say, I really salute what you guys got going on.
Well, that's a lot of the right now we in development of a cartoon series, a graphic cartoon series. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be online and all that in a graphic novel. And that's the whole focus of that project. Taking things that happen in the hood that a lot of us be like, oh my God, but then you think about it when you later on in life in a different position. And it's like, yo, that was actually a little funny how this all came down, like how everything connected that this happened. And that's the way we're gonna portray that side of the hood. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It may look ugly to somebody else who's not from there because you're not from there. You don't understand. You may look at a crackhead and be like, oh my God, a crackhead. But somebody in the hood is like, oh, look, another crackhead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's dancing in the corner. Like, we don't look at it with the same view. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of misconceptions, you know? So why not put a little comedy to it?
Right. Because, comedy also helps and laughs and it's actually like a getaway for anxiety,
Yeah.
Laughing, it helps.
And that's what all those projects were. Those projects were just an outlet. You know what I'm saying? When I was tight, when I was bad, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and but I had a lot going on. All right, let me write this verse. All right, let me record this. Oh, I don't got nobody to make beats for me. Let me learn how to make beats. And every one thing led to another. The higher I was in, the deeper I was in the muck, the more I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Which it was good for productivity, but it wasn't good for the health and psyche. You know what I mean? Because you still need to be swimming in those waters.
Right.
I have a question for those out there, watching and listening. This question may be on their minds as well as ours. Take us back a little bit. So when did you acknowledge the fact that you was dealing with anxiety?
I think it's something like you just be used to it. You know what I'm saying? When you grow up in certain conditions, certain areas where you only see certain things, you already traumatized. You just don't know it because it's the norm. It took me stepping outside of the norm when I started, seeing other people, interacting with other people that didn't grow up in the same environment. You know what I'm saying? And I would say certain things, and for them it would be like, oh my goodness. But for me, it was like, nah, that was just Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? And that made me have to look at things different. Plus, I was always curious about stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like a little geek dude. Like I was into Greek mythology. I was into all that when I was a kid and all that stuff. So as I got older, you start hanging out in the streets and things change. But all that is still in you. You know what I'm saying? So I always question a lot of things, and I always try to ask questions and things like that. A lot of people think that asking questions is bad or makes you look stupid. The dumb one is the person who doesn't ask the question.
Exactly.
You just going along to go along. you know?
Absolutely. So would you say you was at a younger stage in your life, or was you already an adult when you was acknowledging this?
Oh, an adult, definitely.
Okay.
Because I was when you're living in it and you're engrossed in it, it's not until you're out of it that you actually see what it was. You know what I'm saying? When
Okay.
you're in a bad situation and you always been in a bad situation,
Hmm.
nothing is gonna look good. When you start
Right.
being in a situation that is nothing compared to where you was at, it's up to the point like I changed my whole situation and it was like I was looking for a way to go back to those type of traumas because I was used to it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I wasn't
Hmm.
used to, oh, there's no arguments today. It's quiet. Like I don't got to go outside and look around. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
Right.
it makes you change the way you look at things. And like I said, speaking to other people, like that's another thing. A lot of people hold stuff in, or think
Right.
that it's a trauma Olympics or something. Like I tell you, this is bothering me. Well, that's bothering me. You should see what I go through. My dude, it's not a belittlement. It's not a competition. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We all see things differently. Your issues are big to you. Who am I to downplay it? And I think we downplay it a lot with that whole
Mm.
man up, man up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you just eat, man up. You just gotta go up, pull up your bootstraps and all this. My guy, not for nothing. I'm a human being. Today I'm
Right.
up. Tomorrow I could be down. Either which way, I'm still gonna be me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, I got a question for you.
D, put your mic up a little bit. The
All
volume.
right. I'm sorry.
There you go. Wherever you are,
Can you hear me now? I'm good.
perfect.
Like your music and your comedy and the other things you have going on for yourself, were those outlets, were those things you found early on in the stages of the anxiety, or was those things that just came along that actually was helping you?
Well, the music thing, like I wrote the first thing I ever wrote ever in my life. I was in middle school, and I like a lot of old music. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
wrote like a little song verse to a classic beat or whatever. I'm my little, I'm not, that little kid trying to
Right.
get that. And that's the first thing I ever wrote. I didn't start getting into hip hop until I was in high school.
Mm.
And I was in class, and I was always a daydreamer in class. In my heart, I'm just a creative. Like I like to create things. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't care about nothing else. What can I create today? You know what I'm saying? But I wrote my first verse in class, and for years I stood quiet about it. I would tell my boys because they my boys or whatever, but I wouldn't go around battling yada yada yada. This because I'm not a big guy. I don't even like being on camera like that. To be honest with you, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I like to do my thing and here, take it, and I'm out and on to the next. Like, but
We
it
want to
wound
thank
up
you too
big
for being
time.
here.
No
Right.
worries, bro. No worries.
Appreciate it.
Um, I hip hop and making music, creating things gave me an outlet. You know what I'm saying? It gave me a way to express myself and let go of some of those feelings and so anxieties. Because again, I'm doing it by myself in my house, in my room, with my own thing. So I don't really have to deal with nothing or nobody. I could do it as my liking. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about whatever I want, and I
Hmm.
get it out. You
Right.
know?
That's big though, because a lot of times people, they find those creative ways like the music and other things, and they hold it in. Nobody get a chance to see it, so
Yeah.
the next step is being able to let it out for the world, and not be afraid of the backlash that's going to put you back in that shell. So that plays a big part in just releasing stuff and not caring, and it feels like it's off your chest at that point. Once the world see it, it's no longer a weight you have to carry yourself.
Yeah. 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 I be there's been a few songs that I've done over the years that I let my people hear it, and they're like, they've given me the feedback, and I'm like, wow, so I touched something. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I said something you were feeling, and that's good enough. Dude. Like I really, like
How,
I said, I'm not big for the whistles and horns and all that. Like
Hmm.
I'm happy with that. You know,
tell us how did you come about acquiring the name Trifecta?
well, that was I used to go by Triple A. Back
Okay.
way back in the days when people used to break down their names, each letter was meant something or whatever. I used to go by Triple A. This dude called me Trifecta. Some dude named Tank, I believe, if I remember correctly, and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? But again, there was other people with that name, groups that da. So I had to add something to it so I could put it on SoundCloud and YouTube and all that other stuff. And I also took it for the fact that, I rap, I record, I produce.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a one
Mm-hmm.
man group. Like, I do it by myself. I am trifecta. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and I just ran with that. That was it.
That's dope.
That's dope.
That's
Yep.
dope.
Yep.
All right.
Um.
How would you explain as far as dealing with anxiety? How would you explain your family, or if you have a wife, your kids, and how would you explain those people, helping or dealing with or understanding anxiety?
Well, that's the thing. Um, Anxiety, especially with me, I'm a very when it comes to certain things, I'm very private. Like I will like I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
speak
like
on
that
it.
too.
Especially when sometimes situations that cause you anxiety comes from your childhood, which is your family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's good if you can have a good conversation where you can see eye to eye, or you can just come to an understanding. That's great. But as
Right.
you get older and your parents and aunts and uncles and everybody else gets older, people just cement their stance, who they are. This is who I am. I'm not changing for nobody. La 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 la.
Hmm.
So the way they treat you is the way they're gonna treat you. So what you
Hmm.
have to do is take control of how much of that interaction you're gonna have. You know what I'm saying? If I know I'm gonna see so and so is gonna say something sideways that's gonna trigger something, let me go
Right.
ahead and just bypass that interaction. You know what I'm saying? Ain't
Hmm.
nothing wrong with a
Right.
hi and bye from across the room. Hey, how you
Right.
doing? Everything is good? Cool. All right, I'm gonna come over here and talk to somebody else. Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? So it's just mostly maneuvering. Like that's what I wound up learning when it comes to people being triggers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I had a question. So, um, dealing with anxiety, how has anxiety affected any of your hobbies, work ethic, period, or did you ever get to a point where anxiety was triggered to where your normal day to days was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to do this today? Like, were you
Oh,
like
definitely,
affected?
definitely. I've quit making music like 20 times already. You know what I'm saying? I'll quit creating and then stop, and I'll take like a year or a few months, and I won't do nothing. Then I'll do something again, and it's all the same thing. It motivates, but at the same time, it hinders. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
again, I have to take complete I got to to complete. I have to be in complete control. That I know. I have to know that I'm the one that's doing this to myself. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
can't blame. I could understand that I have these issues, but I could also say, yo, not for nothing. It's up to me if I'm gonna fight through it or not. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's why these days, when I already feel that little bit of darkness or whatever, I make sure I find the things that make me happy, whether it be music, whether it be doing something, whether it be going out, whatever. Oh, you know what? I'm feeling down today. Let me do what I don't want to do. This is what I don't want to do, but I know it makes me happy. You feel me?
Hmm.
And that's how
Yes,
I
Right.
try to
sir.
fight it. Or yo, a good comedy. I'll throw on a comedy classic and just forget Harlem Nights and chill out, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hmm.
Just distract yourself because it's mostly overthinking. That's what I
Hmm.
have the biggest problem with is overthinking.
Yeah,
Things are
me
not
too.
as big as I imagine it to be. But for me, in my mind, big. Epcot Center, like,
For the audience out there who want to know, for me and D, and for the audience out there that want to know, what are you did say comedy? I was gonna say split break down a little bit of how you could be going through anxiety, and then what are some of the techniques? You did say comedy, but what are some other techniques that you can give to the audience so they can try it for those who suffer at home? How to get out of anxiety?
I got music. I made a whole playlist of just things that I call happy music. You know what I'm saying? With the music that I like from all genres that's upbeat, anything
Right.
that's upbeat that makes you move. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get anxiety and I be like, oh, I want to lay in bed, but then okay, boom, let me sweep, let me mop, let me do something in the crib. Like this is my crib. I gotta maintain it. Because one thing about anxiety, when it comes heavy, you start letting go of everything. Cribs start
Mm-hmm.
getting messed up. You don't want to get haircuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I start noticing that, oh, yo, not for nothing, I'm not putting things where they're supposed to be, I know that I'm already going down that road. So I try to
Mm-hmm.
curve it before it comes on, you know?
Right.
Mm.
And again, like I said, sometimes you just got to stay away from certain people. You know what I'm saying? People can have the greatest of intentions and not know that their conversation is could be detrimental to your mental health at the moment. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's important. Yep, that's a fact.
I've been thinking about that hard, man. And we all have in our personal lives friends that we love and appreciate. But like you said, certain conversations would definitely be feeling like it's attacking my sanity a little bit. So it's like, all
Yeah,
right, it ain't
yeah.
you. It's what we discussing. Let me just get back. I got to recalibrate myself and then get back into this. So I can
Yeah.
get that. I can get that.
And a lot of
Um.
times, even when you explain that, yo, let's change the subject,
Mhm.
it's like no, because they're focused in. You know what I'm saying? They're in their world. So you just have to be you have to be able to recognize things as they come to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Most of the
Um.
time, it's a mental battle. I think, like you said, overthinking. Like, I had a slight anxiety attack myself before coming onto the show today. For some reason, I just didn't want to do it. And I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
to
was the same,
myself, like,
son.
why don't I want to do it? But again, that's that doubt. That's always going to be there once the anxiety kick in. That's what it's there for, to prevent you from, happiness, and, prevent you from even just doing what you was supposed to be doing. It stops
Yeah.
you in a halt, and that's the the gate that you got to jump at that moment. But
And for those who don't have it, it may look like something small. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For those who don't
Right.
suffer from it, or those who don't have to go through it, it may look
hmm
like the worst I ever get, the worst advice I ever had is somebody say, "Well, just stop." What do you mean? You think I don't want to, yo? Like, why are you diminishing what the hell is going on with me?
Right.
Like, if you don't understand, say you don't understand. If you don't get it, say you don't get. Everybody is not built the same, bro. You know what I'm
hmm
saying?
Yep.
Like, you
Yep.
gotta stop thinking that everybody is this. We could grow up in the same house and have a completely different mental makeup.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? We are different. You gotta be able to understand that.
So
That's true.
as you said, you learned about this in an adult stage and going through these things, and so my curiosity question, as well as probably some of the people out there, is how important is mental health awareness in today's era? How important would you be able to describe it?
It's important in any era. It's important to just to be just to enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you grow up in certain urban environments. You're gonna grow up with PTSD. You're gonna grow up with some type of trauma because
hmm
it's a bunch of people, it's a bunch of things going on. We ain't gonna go into that whole but it's a setup. You know what I'm saying? And it's also generational. It's also like high blood pressure. We get it because of what we eat and yada yada yada. Where we
hmm
get that from? Well, we got it from our parents. Where they got it from their parents, and so it's just keeps rolling downhill. You have to be. Well, you don't have to. I gotta stop saying have to. You gotta come to the point where you realize what can you do. And I
Hmm.
think for me, that's what it took. It took me to sit down and say, okay, I can't blame everybody for everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I got to sit down and say, okay, maybe that person did me wrong, but what didn't I see?
hmm
Because I'm not stupid. I can see, like, what did I blind myself to? Because we
Right.
blind ourselves to things also. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
took me. It took me to get over um the whole stigma of talking to a therapist and this, that, and the third. And I did, I go ahead and made that call. I started talking to a therapist. I started airing out. I started opening up more and talking more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just letting the chips fall where they may. Because those that are for you are going to be for you. You know?
Right.
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 Second, me unmute that.
Uh,
Yes,
that's
sir.
deep.
Like you said, those are for you will be for you. Those that ain't won't be.
Yeah.
Um, you think we think? we discuss anxiety enough as a whole in today's society, or do you think it needs to be more of it?
And I'm here for the ride, man. Whatever you want to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I meant as a whole, like I'm not meaning us, like the show. I mean like people in general, like the news, just people in general. Do you
but
think? Because I
that's
feel
one
like
thing. You
they
know
don't
what
talk about it enough.
I stopped. I used to be an avid news watcher. You know what I'm saying? Like avid, especially politics news. Like you follow me, you're gonna see me putting a whole bunch of politic memes and this, that, and the third because I find it funny. It's like a human soap opera, but it actually affects us. I stopped watching regular news because regular news was just back to back to back to back to back to back bad news, bad energy, bad.
I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying? Fear the train, fear
I
outside,
agree.
fear a person, fear this. Oh, look. Every time there's a criminal, this black man did this Spanish man did that. Like, there's no other people doing crimes out here. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, so I just stopped. I'm not watching the news. I watch what I think is important. What I need to know is the weather, the traffic, you know what I'm saying? And maybe just some general what happened in my area. Okay, there's gonna be a little stop here or there's a holiday. That's it. Besides that, keep all out of the crap, bro. You know what I'm saying? I choose
I
the news
agree.
I want to watch. I'll
There you
go
go.
online and watch the video clips. I want to know what's going on with this corporation and what they did to the water. Let me look for that specific thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not
Hmm.
going to sit there and get bombarded by an hour of bad negativity and then try to act like that doesn't affect you. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? There's people
Yeah.
that are addicted to the news,
Hmm.
addicted to the bad news of the news. Nah,
Mm.
B,
I like how you
you
said that.
added something to
Yeah.
yourself.
So if you think about it, it's marketable. They have businesses behind it that make money off of this, off of our
Yeah,
backs. That's why this platform is important because it's going to bring awareness that this shouldn't be marketable.
not at
Because if
all.
it's marketable, that means it's going to always be around. You know what I'm saying? If
Mm.
there's money being made off it will not leave. It won't be smart. But at the same time, it's like these platforms is just so important because the most important part is getting people comfortable. Everybody
Yeah,
ain't comfortable. Once you have a support group that you're comfortable with, it kind of makes your life a little easier. And I kind of with my boy Nate over here, he bringing me in. This was more helpful for me. I'll tell him it's kind of more helpful on my end because I suffer from anxiety a lot. I lost my brother, years ago, and I was closed up. I wasn't able to really speak how I'm speaking right now. But
yeah,
I went to therapy, and that helped me understand that my story needs to be heard. People don't understand, and part of anxiety, what you're going through needs to be heard. That's the therapy. So
yeah.
that's big.
I know
R.I.P. my brother H.
what helped me out a lot too was my kids because I was determined to be a much better and not better, a different parent. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be scared to talk to me. I don't want them. I want
Right.
we're gonna have respect, but at the same time, I'm not here to berate you on everything you do. You're gonna fuck up, so go. Oh, sorry, you're gonna mess up, so go ahead and mess up. But I'm not gonna be that strict disciplinarian on you all the time. If you got a problem, we need to speak. So I had to learn how to sit down and
Mm.
listen to them. And you know what I'm saying? But all that happened later on in life also, you know,
Mm.
and
One of the
not
one of the
here.
one of the questions I asked you off air before, I did tell you I would ask you on air. Um, Take us back to that dope performance in the Bronx for Global Music Group. My apologies. Um, when you were standing in that ring, all eyes on you for that performance, was there any anxiety happening at that moment?
Always, always,
And how
you
did you
know.
get yourself through that? Because reason why I ask this for people out there who have this question, when I step into the booth or I step into anything that has to deal with any part of the craft we deal with, it's pressure, immediate pressure. Pressure wondering if it's gonna be just flat out 100% dope performance,
Yeah,
whether it's the content, just anxiousness to see what the reaction's gonna be, if I'm expecting to get that feedback that we was anticipating on getting. And so was there anything leading into that, right, which led to anxiety? And how was you able to keep that focus? When I saw that video, I said, yo, my boy up there shining. He don't even look like. I watch you tell a dude like, yo, could you put the beat up a little bit more? Like, yo, I'm looking at you in your comfort zone. You in that ring. So I was like, yo, he didn't give me a sign. Yeah, you didn't give me no signs of anxiousness. So how was you able to hold that type of, focusness on what you were doing without having to feel that anxiety, like, because anxiety can make you stumble, trip up, you might mess the verse up, might want to restart. How was you able to hold that content and keep going with it like that?
Well, of course I had a couple of drinks before I got on stage. You know what I'm saying? that's always a little boost, have a couple of shots, go on stage. And a lot of it was the energy that my man Gil Rios was giving me that night. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, my dude, he knew my apprehension. You know what I'm saying? He was my man. He's my man. So I just talked to him regular. And he's like, dude, you gotta go ahead, bro. You're gonna kill this. You know what I'm saying? And then the host, that's my other man. Me and him did a track together. We did the soundboard freestyle and video. Mm-hmm. So he was like, yo, this song is hot. You're gonna kill it. So I just played, once he played the track, I just pretty much jumped in, like, you know what I'm saying? And even now looking at it, it's like, yo, I could have been more animated. I could have been more, you know what I mean? But again, that's me. I'm toning myself down. Because if I didn't have that anxiety, I would have been up there like busting rhymes on the ropes, going ham, like, you know what I'm saying? Giving that energy out. But mentally I wasn't there. I overthanked the whole thing. Now, the thing that makes me laugh about that night is while I feel like I was extremely timid on the stage, when it came to the interview section, I was swimming. Like, I was going off. Like, it was a great interaction, at least in my opinion. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what that interview is. But that's what I remember the most about that night, the interview over the performance.
I got to give a shout out again to your boy Gil Rios. Tulips.
Yep.
Yo, that joint had me rolling.
A lot. And like people like Gil Rios, people like my man on Rio right now. We working on the cartoon. Like, they're go-getters. They don't have.
Are you able to discuss? Like, are you able to discuss a little bit about what the cartoon would be about, or no?
I could discuss a little bit about it. Is the adventures of Captain Coqui and the Sockless Plantain. Basically, it's going to be a Puerto Rican and a Dominican from the hood. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the characters are going to be more caricatures than actual human beings. Mm-hmm. What we're going to do is we're going to take these situations from the hood and find the comedic aspect, like I was saying about the video. You know, of course, we're going to exaggerate and we're going to touch on certain subjects that's real. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like the reverse Boondocks. You know, they went to the suburbs and talked about, the differences up there. We're going to just stay in the hood and tell you how the hood is changing. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's gonna push a lot of people's buttons because I think good comedy should get somebody upset. Somebody should be tight. Because you're attacking, you're poking fun and you're bringing to light something that, while it may be near to you, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to look at it from a grand scheme of things, Okay. And maybe it'll also give you a different set of eyes on that situation or that predicament that's going on. So it's gonna be a lot of funny things going on, That's dope. And we're gonna try to getting it into. We're gonna be doing review shows with it, and we're gonna be doing motion comic with it, and we're gonna come out with a graphic novel that's not gonna be part of the motion comic. It's gonna be a standalone entity. Big shout out to Bugs. Big shout out to Gates. Big shout out to Rio. That's the team right there making it happen. And Sucio.
Shout out to
Sucio, the artist that's drawing everything, because his pen game is phenomenal.
Where will we be able to view this cartoon at, if you're able to disclose that?
we're gonna build the YouTube channel and everything else. Everything is gonna be under that same name, The Adventures of Captain Coquille and Sockless Plantain, or SP and CC, depending on how we get the name on like YouTube and Twitch and everything else. But I think we're gonna be starting with the TikTok first. We're probably gonna have the TikTok up first, and then we're gonna do the whole. Each episode is gonna be basically a comic book. We're gonna drop
Got you.
those on like YouTube
Got
with
you.
voice
Got
actors
you.
and all that. Like, but
Got you.
it's gonna be crazy. Like, we got a lot of funny situations going on. Like things that, like I said, things that you see every day. The local crackhead standing in front of the store, open the door, holding the door for you, hoping you give him some change. Like, you tell him no, I'm gonna get you food, and he's like, he throws the food away. You see,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, my dude. Like, we know what you want that change for now. Like, little things like
Get,
that it just slips your mind. Like, but that was kind of crazy.
Right.
if you don't mind saying the link again for Wangsterland, because this comedy skit is dope. I want people to check that out.
I believe that's on Gil Rios's page.
Okay.
Gil Rios on YouTube. He has all his videos up there. He has his documentary. He got a tattoo documentary, which is incredible. That man has elevated tenfold since the days of us doing those skits and him doing my videos. I'm very happy to see his progress, and he's definitely that go-getter. He was a fuel. He was the battery. You know what I mean? That's one thing about having anxiety. Sometimes you need a battery. You can't be your own battery all the time. You know, there's times that
Hmm.
I am and I get it going, but most of the time I'm overthinking it. I need a battery. I need that push. He was definitely a good person right there to help me get to those places. And he even tried to open more doors for me. But again, my anxiety, myself, I prevented that from happening.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
How would you
He took a
feel?
page out of you. My apologies, D.
What's
Before
that?
you say that question, he took a page for something that you were saying. Accountability. See that?
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah.
D.
I get into the slogan I got for that, but I was gonna ask, how would you feel you dealing with anxiety now? Do you feel, because I don't feel nobody can control it or defeat it, but how do you feel you at with it right now?
I'm better in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the anxiety of people and this, that, and the third, I try to this whole year, because again, I've always seen the negative side of things. You know what I'm saying? The what if people. You know what I mean?
Right.
This whole year, I haven't been on my what if. My what if has been what if it happens. You know, so I just been positivity. I try to look at every positive aspect. I'm learning that things that I cannot control, I gotta let go. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
And that has helped me. It has. You know, usually I would be going crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, I do lose my sleep here and there over other things, you know, regular life things, at being a parent, yada yada yada. But the overall interaction with others and everything is way down. It's
Right.
way down, you know.
Right.
And I'm just trying to get to a point where I could go ahead and get back to being creative and just letting it flow. Because right now, with so many things going on, you can't really concentrate the way you want to.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
And I spend a lot of my time doing what I like to do. I like to watch my shows. I like to play my games from times. I chill out with my daughter. We have our routine going on. Like, I make
Right.
sure I keep those routines going. Even if I feel bad today, you know what? Today's the day we do this. So let me go and do this with her. Like, you know what I mean? And I
Right.
Right.
also know that she's watching me. If so, the way I get affected, I know she's gonna get affected also. But kids mimic what they see. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So if they
Right.
walking around mad all the time, somebody is in your house mad all the time, bro, because that's what they see. They think that's the norm to be mad. So I
Right.
try to show her that, yo, every day is a blessing. You control your day. Every morning, I tell her what you're gonna have today. Today is gonna be a good day. Why? Because you want it to be a good day. You can't let nobody else destroy how you feel inside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that focus of me putting my energy towards her, it takes time for me from overthinking.
Right. Right.
As long as I'm not overthinking, 9 out of 10, I'm good. But again, sometimes my mind just races away,
Right.
you know.
That's true.
So that's
Um.
the part that I got to get a lasso on.
Right. Just to share
Right.
with you
Right.
about what he was talking about earlier.
Hmm.
It's a little thing I put together that helps me, and I'm still using it every day. It's called ABA, and that's called accountability before acceptance. You
Mm.
have to the accountability part is very important. Without that, it's hard to receive the help, the blessings, the healing, because you still living with the same burden. You're not letting it go. So I just
Yeah. And you'd be surprised how much of the things that we believe is being done to us, we actually just did it with ourselves with our choices.
right,
You know what I'm saying? The most minute choice could lead you down a whole different path, or just going into a situation expecting it to go wrong.
right,
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta. It's very little things here and there, and for everybody, it's different. Because I can't speak for everybody what triggers them or what gives them their anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I know for
Right.
me, all it takes is one little thought. One little thought sparks in my mind, and it starts avalanching. So I got to try to keep it in a positive wavelength. For me, it's energy. If your energy is right, yo, I'm with you 100% because I'm giving you that good energy.
right,
And with the job that I have, I got to interact with different people all day. Sometimes I get people that, you know, they have that outlook of life that everything is a burden, and then I got people that think that life is beautiful, even though I got to go do something to make their life better for that moment. You know what I mean?
right.
So it keeps me in practice.
For those of you out there just tuning in, please like, share, subscribe. Also on the YouTube channel, please like, share, subscribe. We are a non-judgmental platform. For those of you tuning in, for those of you that have been rocking with us since the beginning, we appreciate you for sure. Um, you're now tuned in to GW Anxiety Talks. We're back with more of my boy Trifecta, the voice.
Trifecta.
Um, for people that don't know, Try has been with us behind the scenes for a couple of months now. He's
Yeah.
one of the moderators of GW Anxiety Talks page. So there are days that you may be talking to me, and there are days where you're probably talking to him. There are days where the motivational quotes and posts that we post up are coming from me, and there are days that they're coming from him. There are days
Right.
that they're coming from D. Hayes. There are days that they're coming from Miss Chris. So we are collectively an anxiety team. This is the family. And always welcoming you guys for the newcomers into the family. We are a community. It's an open invite community. It's non-judgmental. This is a platform where you come in and share your thoughts and ways that you deal with anxiety. So
I
Right.
want to ask y'all, like, what made y'all start the page and the platform with anxiety? And you know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. You know what I mean?
I'll start this
right.
one off, man. Like, yo, it's I'm gonna give it all to my boy, man, my boy Nate. Yo, I've actually met him through my younger brother that passed away.
Mm,
So
mm,
along the road, we've grew and our relationship grew stronger with him not being here. So
mm.
this is all his idea. This is all him, man. I want to give him his flowers. I feel this is your time because he asked the perfect question. My brother, he presented me, he wanted me to come on his platform and help him, and it's been a blessing for me, man. So, and at the same time, this is nothing we rehearsing. This is anxiety. This is something we live with every day. This is it lives with us. So is why can't we make a platform and talk? This is like we talk when we do when we on the phone.
Yeah,
So
Right.
it's
yeah.
just,
Right.
broadcasted to the people here. So I'm glad you asked that question so I could give my boy, a chance for him to hear, appreciate it, man.
Um,
Definitely,
I
definitely.
definitely salute both you brothers, man. It means a lot when I hear you guys say this, and you guys say this stuff behind the scenes. So like he said, it ain't nothing new to us. But personally, the platform was created because I suffered a lot of losses in my life. I was unable to attend my mom's funeral and even have any last words dealing with that. That gave me a anxiety I wouldn't wish on anyone. And then my uncle moving out here, he had passed away September 4th of last year. So it really, really bothered me even more because I confided in him everything I wish I could have told her, and then he passes away. So that really it messed me up mentally, and I was at a point in my life where music wasn't the answer for me anymore. It was healing at the time, but it wasn't. It didn't fill a void, and it felt like it wasn't enough. So I fell back from that. And I said, you know what? I need to know my purpose. I'm losing all my friends. My best friend, which is his brother, my best friend, JH, was more like my bigger brother than I was to him because he would give me jewels and gems that resonate with me still to today. So it was like I lost my best friend. I lost my mom. I lost my uncle. What is my purpose? What is my purpose before I lose me? So I realized I've been battling anxiety every day of my life. You know what I mean? Just even starting the show today, like you guys said, I had walked in here with anxiety. I wanted to call it off. I was looking for anything just to say, all right, I didn't have to do it. But I told myself, no, you're going to work with me. Anxiety, you're going to work with me. You're going to work on my time. And if you're going to be here, grab a seat because we're doing it my way. I'm not going to let you take control over my life. And like he said, I got real close to my brother. After his brother passed, we would normally hang out and kick it as if nothing ever had happened. And we would build this bond, and it was to the point where we became brothers. And you know what I mean, acceptable. I said inseparable. He allowed himself to share his family with me when I was slowly losing mine, and it just became so dope to build this family. So I said, Joe, I believe in this platform. The GW stands for Garcia's Way, which is also my last name. I said, let's put this together. Anxiety Talks. We're going to make it open to the public. Let's do this. And, you know, my brother sure as hell got on a thing with me on the platform and said, we're going to take it by storm and we're going to touch one person at a time if we can and try to save as many as we can on the road, you know. And then I remember calling you up behind the scenes a few times, and I was a good buddy of ours. Me and you share a mutual friend. He's like an uncle to me, Senderhood.
Yes,
Reached
sir.
out
Big
and said,
shout.
you know what I mean? Try might be the move. Try, yeah, he said try might be the move for the platform because he's in the same lane as you. I said, okay, cool. Me and you chopped it up. The rest was history. I found that brotherly love bond with you. I said, man, this is a good
Okay.
dude. We both got passions for things that can really change other people's lives. You know what I mean? It'd be dope when I'm sitting back with my kids watching y'all cartoons and just that's just epic because we all come from nothing. So to be able to have this platform is dope. So yeah, that's my answer to
Yeah.
that question.
And then, a
Oh,
little
that's
extra to
fire.
add on to that. I seen my boy Nate in some dark places, man. Like I've seen like a lot, that my boy went through. So for him to come to me with this idea and see where his head is at today and the space he in, man, I always salute him for that, because I don't think a lot of the people that we grew up with would be able to do what he did, with the situation he was in. So I wasn't even in the right situation, and I'm pretty sure he had a lot more on his plate than I did, and for him to just still be thinking about pulling me on, and that's why I feel this is big, and I appreciate it again, and we created a support group within the last, I say, 6 to 7 months. We probably been on the
Mm-hmm.
phone every single day with each other, yo, and it's
Oh,
just been
okay.
like, yo, if you're going through something, man, it could be one of those days. Call me. I don't care what time of day it is or what time of night it is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
an answer. And I just feel that's helpful, man, because people need that. Those could be the decision making between somebody taking their life and still speaking to them. So it all plays a part. That's why I say this program, this platform is important because it's real life. It's nothing that you have to really rehearse. This is all therapy, just us talking to each other. It's therapy. So,
Yeah. Well, it takes a village, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So we don't have that village. So it's good that y'all building that and y'all putting it together.
Right.
I invited a few peoples on there that I know that if they pay attention, it could definitely give them a different outlook. And I hope they take advantage. But I also know people do things when they're ready. You know
Yeah.
what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So when they're ready to accept, to open up, to see a different point of view, they're gonna be here, B. They're gonna flock to it. 'Cause this is good things right here.
Right.
Would you say, right? Question, not as a host, but as a fan watching, would you say anxiety talks is helpful?
Yeah. I mean, especially when the topic is something that I can hold here, hold to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see this one situation. Okay, that happened to me, and y'all talking about it. It's like, oh wow, I'm not alone in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Feeling the way I
Right.
feel about what happened. So that's always helpful.
Right. I
People
feel
don't
like
know
it's
too. Behind the scenes, we're all connected in the backgrounds. Behind the scenes.
yeah. Like, and is the purpose is to make this a everyday conversation. Because this
Yeah,
is not the normal conversation people have every day. Nobody, it's not, you probably can count on your hands of how many times you hear somebody talking about anxiety throughout your regular workday. So
Hmm.
that's the
yeah,
purpose also, because it's not flashy. You know what I'm saying? It's almost transparent because you can't see it until somebody shows it. So that's the
true that.
purpose too, is to make people comfortable to show it. That's the main first layer of the shell. You know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying? So
That's true. It's the same thing with depression. You know what I'm saying? Look at Robert Williams, bro. Like nobody knew that dude was happy. He touched mad people's lives, and he was suffering like crazy. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? So the
yep,
hardest part is letting people in.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
how I feel right now dealing with anxiety. I done already took my meds that I'm supposed to take for anxiety, right? And I'm going out on a limb by saying that because I always advocate people go get help. Please, if you're dealing with this, see someone, speak to somebody that you truly trust with what you invest into them, or just with what you're going through. Speak to them, get help, see a doctor, see someone. So I go back to saying I took my meds, right, and I'm having light anxiety, you know what I mean, at the moment, just because the excitement I'm having and just the fact that the message is still being given. We still
Hmm.
broadcasting the message. It's okay to not feel okay, but it's
Yeah,
not okay
right,
to know you don't feel okay and do nothing about it.
right,
So
yeah,
I seriously urge that people go out, seek help, get help. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it will be something wrong with you acknowledging it and doing nothing about it. We're losing too
definitely.
many young men and women. We're losing our peers
hmm,
because lack of communication, lack of
Hmm.
information. D has been bringing to my attention throughout every episode or even behind the scenes how much anxiety is affected by anxiety comes by the stuff we intake in our bodies. I'm learning that these he has a
right,
lot of knowledge on that. That's what I want him to promote on here too. He has a
right,
lot of stuff that can help with cleansing and a series of herbs that and vitamins that you can take to help cleanse you out. And so eating habits, the stuff that we intake as far as information to our ears, the people like you presented earlier, the people that
yep,
we discuss anything with, the way that that vibe might go. So
Yeah,
eating, the outside world, what we choose to watch and observe on television from or social media plays a part of anxiety, and just the he say she say gossip BS stuff that
right.
we try to avoid on our day-to-day basis. So it's a lot with that. D, if you could drop a few things, I'm putting you on the spot here, but if you can let the audience know as well as try myself again a
I
few things
mean,
that of herbs and things of that nature that we could use.
I won't recommend any herbs right now because a lot of people have to start on their own terms. You can't
Hmm.
just jump into something and think it's gonna help. Like you got to start with the first thing, and I feel it's that is learning your body, paying attention to your body. What signs it's telling you. Go to the doctor. Stay healthy, and that's the first stage, and then you can go to your diet. What are you eating? What when you eat something, what causes? Because I learned with me, junk food, dairy products, it creates mucus, and I learned it from my own self.
yeah,
So it's
Hmm.
certain things I cut out in my own diet just for my own personal reasons, but you have to start with yourself first. You know, you have to figure out what are you doing wrong. So, you know, and then you can, after you find out those steps, then you can go to better of, you know, with herbs and other things to help you. But, you know, the detox starts from stop putting what you shouldn't be putting in first, you know.
Yeah,
You know, of course, another couple episodes, you know, I get in detail, but that's a start right there. You know, learn your body first.
Yeah,
I
D put
totally
me on to
agree.
the ginger shots and all of that, man. You know, went from taking shots of alcohol to going, okay, now we taking health shots. You know what I mean? So
Right,
things are
right.
changing. You know what I mean?
Health is
So
wealth.
it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, man. I really love this catalog I got sitting in front of my face of accolades of what you've been doing. I didn't believe I got the name of them, but I remember stating that you were published in 2 poetry books. Are you able to speak on those books or?
Um, wow, that was such a long time. I got the book somewhere. I think I actually have them in my mother's house somewhere. Like I don't even know the name of the books. Like these are things like I was just telling my man the other day. I get so focused on the now that I forget a lot of the things that I've done. Or I belittle it. You know what I'm saying? Like me
Right.
making that list for you, it was like, oh wow, I forgot about this. Oh wow, I forgot about that. Oh wow, I forgot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always my mind is always elsewhere. I don't get time to enjoy my own accomplishments. But
One
as soon
thing
as I go and I pick up them books, I will shoot you that message.
one thing I would like to relate and say that we do similar to what Drink Champs would do. Shout out to everyone on Drink Champs.
Yes,
We love
sir.
to give people their flowers. We love to give people their flowers. That's the one thing I can say that's related to many other podcasters as well as us, not only just Drink Champ, but we love to give people their flowers. And I mean
Have to.
by letting the world know the dope stuff that you've created, the things that you have accomplished, because it's so easy to forget and it's so easy to be bashful and it's so easy to be judgmental. Why
Yeah,
is it so hard to uplift and promote the beautiful things that our brothers and sisters is creating
Right.
for the youth
that's
and for people? So
that's
I'm
just societal conditioning, B. That's that crabs in the barrel when you grow up in the hood. You can't be happy for somebody else because there's something that you missing, and I don't subscribe to that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I want everybody to win. I want my enemies to win, B. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because maybe if you was a little bit more happy and I was a little bit more happier, we wouldn't have been enemies, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? What exactly,
Right.
I have a real problem with people that gotta demolish somebody else to make themselves feel good.
Hmm.
Because that's not, you don't really feel good. You are actually hurting somebody else because you're hurting. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we do that a lot to one another. You know what I'm saying? I could understand a joke, but there's a lot of truth in jokes, bro. You
Yep.
know,
If
so you got to watch that diet very much too.
right. If there's anything that you can give to the, if there's any information that you could pass to the audience on dealing with anxiety, what would it be?
Take stock. If you're gonna overthink, try to drive the direction of where your mind is going. You know what I'm saying? Don't think what you could have done. Think, okay, what's my next step? This already happened, so why replay that? What's your next step from that? You made a mistake here. How can you correct that tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? And learn how to take accountability. Because I think a lot of us are afraid to take accountability. And
I'm gonna go.
and
I'm gonna go out
you
on a
know,
limb and make you brothers laugh. I told myself I wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it because it's our platform. We do what we want here.
yeah,
A lot of you people, when we start telling you guys, yo, anxiety's a real thing. It's not only just in our heads. We're living, breathing this stuff day in and day out. And you go, oh, it's not real, and only women can capture that. And the great voice of the man himself. All of that is fake news. Fake news.
yep.
Don't listen to nobody. All of that stuff is everything that they tell you. Thank you, thank you. It's fake news. Don't listen to them. These guys are telling it
That's a
correctly.
good one.
So anxiety talks is real, man. Anxiety is real. You know what I mean?
Anxiety is
My
real.
brother tried saying it, My brother D's here. We on it. You know what I mean? Try is not only a guest on the show. He's behind the scenes helping the show stay alive on these platforms that we building. So is D and myself. You know, my wife Colleen, she's doing the same. We got a community, small one, but we're trying to turn it into something beautiful for you guys. A place where you guys can come and say, I can express myself, I can be who I am, and not feel bashed about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, these brothers come out of their shells and their place of peace to help others. So take heed when listening to this show, guys. Go ahead, D. I'm
Take your
sorry.
gems.
Right.
What was you gonna say, D? I'm sorry.
I kind of had a small little brain fart there, but just to piggyback off what you're saying, like, yeah, man, you know, feel free, like, and you know, even not even during the show, you know, if people want to chat or you know, feel free to hit me at my Facebook or you know, hit Nate, you know, you can hit the GW Anxiety Talks page. You know, it's not only when you know we on live or we having a show that you know we open to talk. So
And people join in. So D has started Anxiety After Talk, which will be airing on live right after this on Instagram. Join us. Get in tune with us at GW underscore anxiety underscore talks at Instagram. Let us know what is it that you want to hear us talk about. Let us know if you are prepped to be a guest on the show. Let us know what is it that, whatever comes to mind, how have we been effective to help you in your situation? Let us know. Also share your ways of dealing with anxiety. We don't stop learning because anxiety doesn't stop coming. So we are interested highly in what you guys want to bring to the table as far as techniques, ways of dealing with this stuff. It's not easy. You didn't heard it from my brother Try and D himself. We all come from different places, you know, and we all have different backgrounds, but we all on the same lane on our journey to outdo anxiety. Tries
Yeah.
the anything as far as accolade wise I didn't get to mention that you would like to bring to the light. Anything you want the audience to know about you?
If you want to know more about, if you want to see me basically being myself, anxiety free, go to YouTube bootleg reviews where you see me and Diva Talk Harlem, my lady, reviewing classic videos, mostly pop and rock and things like that because you got to step out of what you already know. You know what I'm saying? But that I believe was like one of the few platforms where I was on camera and I was just being me, my silly, having fun, enjoying the atmosphere, just going in, having some drinks. Like, you know, we're gonna get back to that soon. But again, my own head, my own where I'm at, I wouldn't be able to give that same level of product. And at this point, I want to give an even higher level of product. So when I do bring
right,
it back out, we're gonna take it to a whole different level.
Yes, sir. And
that's what's
it's
up.
And
amazing to have you on the show.
look out for the adventures of Captain Coquille and Sockless Plantain, man. We're gonna
Yeah,
be in the building.
yo, I'm excited. I want to see that. I'm a fan
You know what I
already, man.
mean?
Um, I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this with us today. Um, Also, I want to say, D, it's about time for the quote of the day, baby. Take us.
Let's go. I got a quote of the day for y'all. I'm gonna share with y'all. My quote of today it says, "Our anxiety does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, but only empties today's of its strength."
Mm,
And
mm.
my little quote of the day, because I like his better. My little quote of the day is basically saying, anxiety, I will transform you into something useful and productive. I will not bow down to you.
That's
So with
hard.
that
That's
being
fire.
said, we want to
That's
get
hard.
into the mental health #1 online counseling website. D, you got this one?
Yeah, the I'm sorry, mentalhelp.com is an online counseling website. The suicide hotline is 988. They will connect you to a trained counselor with existing lifeline.
And basically what I want to get into now is moment we've been waiting for. Okay, yep. Call a suicide hotline number in the U.S. Call a National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. Again, 1-800-273-8255. Use the same number and press 1 to reach the Veterans Crisis Line. Reach out to a close friend or a loved one. Contact a minister or spiritual leader or someone in your youth faith community. So we have Public Gift Hair, link best.publicgift.com, raising awareness to mental health, breast cancer, autism, suicide prevention, save the bees, save the planet, eating disorder, addiction recovery. The promo code is in capitals MENTAL, which is mental 25. You'll get 25% off all your purchases. So there you have it, folks. We are GW Anxiety Talks. I'm your host, Nate, my co-host D.
I want to thank you guys. Hold on, brother. I want to thank you guys, man, for not just creating this place, but including me in the group and giving an open channel to go ahead and speak about these topics, man.
Always. You know, actually, if you could, we want to do a part 2 with you. This time we want you to bring your boy Del Rios with you. Gil Rios, sorry. We want you to bring him with you so we can get you guys together.
I'm gonna try my best, man. That man is hard to catch nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
But I definitely have a brother that could definitely add a lot of good jewels to this. Also, where I'm at now, he helps me get to the higher level on a sideline basis, on a conversational basis. So I know he would do very well here also.
I'm honored to have you here. I'm honored to have you as a brother. I'm really fortunate that you came on today because it's not easy stepping up to the plate, but you just opened up that door. You just raised that bar. So I can't wait. Also, guys, next week, stay tuned. Next week, Sunday, first Sunday of October, our guest, Jonathan Marty, a.k.a. Marty Marr, will be with us. He talks highly about the Define podcast, Web 3.0, cryptocurrency, and much more. Again, I'm your host, Nate, my co-host, D. Hayes. And that's it from Anxiety GW Talks, y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed. Peace.
Bye.